Hi, I'm Davy, and I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the style of a movie that I love. Alternative, B-rated, cult style flicks. This week, I'm going to continue the series, could be in a category all its own, best horror comedy series based on giant worms. Ladies and gentlemen, Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. This movie was made in 2004 and was released by Universal Pictures as well as Stampede Entertainment. And the movie was directed by S.S. Wilson and was also written by S.S. Wilson, along with Brett Maddock, Ron Underwood, Nancy Roberts, and Scott Buck. And the movie is set in Nevada in 1889. The writers set it in 1889 on purpose because the first Tremors movie was actually set in 1989. Yes, it came out in 1990, but that was because of things after it was made, holding it up and making it come out just after it turned into 1990. But the movie itself is supposed to be 1989, and they want it to be exactly 100 years before the original story. The movie opens with some guys working in a mine. Okay, so let's just get right into it. That's not how you get ahead in mining. Then we see the town. Then we see Juan Padilla, the guy we saw from the mine. And he's in a store.
Juan Padilla, you've been looking at that hat for a month. Buy it or don't buy it.
And of course that store is Chang's Market. Yes, that one. Apparently that little market has been around for a long time. Sort of. I mean, it keeps getting destroyed and rebuilt. Then we see Gummer.
I am he.
Not Burt Gummer, but Hiram Gummer. Burt's great-great-grandfather. So I guess you could say that in these movies, Burt has some family ties. Hiram meets Christine.
Proprietress of the local hotel.
Well, you're lovelier than Fifth Avenue in spring.
It's very important to remember, this is Hiram, not Burt.
I should like a gingerbread cake. Yes, that should do nicely.
I feel like your great-grandson Burt would punch somebody just for saying gingerbread cake. After eating his meal,
Fouyen, would you like that last piece of gingerbread?
Yes.
he tells him he can have it if he gets him his brandy. But when Fouyen gets back, Hiram's already eaten that last piece of gingerbread.
Anyone can be taken advantage of, and if you can, do.
Burt, your relative sucks. Juan is finally back, so Hiram goes to speak to him about the mine. Even though there is still plenty of silver in this mine, Juan says nobody wants to go back and work it because they're afraid of getting killed.
My ancestors talked of spirit beasts that live inside those mountains.
Apparently Tacopa and his people have known about the graboids for quite a while now. Hiram tells Juan to go gather as many miners as he can, and they're all going to go hunt down what is ever doing this.
And fill them full of more holes than a cabbage leaf in a hailstorm.
Precisely.
But Juan tells Hiram to get them to go back, you'd have to pay them a lot more than you were paying them to mine these mines with the danger. Hiram agrees, and also says he will accompany them. Old Fred asks Hiram what kind of gun he has.
Bet you it's big and fancy.
I don't own a firearm.
Man, the apple fell really far from that tree. The next day, Hiram, Juan, and 4 miners who were actually willing to go into that mine go to inspect it.
Here. You ain't gonna need it. Try it on.
Hey, free hat! After inspecting the mine, Hiram decides that whatever danger was there must have gone.
I pray that we are correct.
You're not. Later that night, while camping, one of the miners goes off to play his accordion. 3 guesses how that worked out. The horses get spooked and start to run off, so one of the miners goes to check out what happened, and... Next!
We got guns over here!
These ones can jump? And they're smaller? Yeah! Sorry, dude, but that was really cool. Juan and Hiram are the only 2 left, and they figure out that they cannot penetrate rock. And they use that to their advantage by walking back, up and over the rock hills to get back to rejection. When they get back, they tell everybody about these.
Dragons. Dirt dragons.
That's what they're calling them in this one. Keep in mind, that name was coined by their great-grandson, Walter Chang, who named them graboids right before they ate them. Hiram decides to send a telegram to hire a gunfighter to take care of these beasts. Old Fred says, why don't we get Doc Holliday? But they've got some bad news for him.
Doc Holliday's dead?
He is. Wish somebody would have told me! The next morning, Fu Young has fixed Hiram's bike and wants $5 for it. This is the Old West. That was a lot of money.
Anyone can be taken advantage of, and if you can, do.
Good job, kid. Good job. 1 month later, they're all still waiting for a gunfighter, and Christine goes to confront Hiram about his bill that's been running up and up and up since he's been there, making Hiram have to confess that he doesn't actually have any money at the moment. It's all tied up in that mine. And once that mine is up and running...
Once I get the mine running, I'll pay my bill in full and be on the first stage out of here.
So he's not just a pansy, he's a broke pansy. Finally, the gunfighter shows up. That's Black Hand Kelly, played by Billy Drago. Most famous for his role as Nettie in The Untouchables, but ultimately been in a lot of movies. He's one of those actors that you look at and go, hey, that's that guy from that one movie. He's one of those guys, and he's awesome. Or at least he was. Rest in peace, Billy Drago. Kelly gives everybody a demonstration of his marksmanship.
Obviously, we were expecting to see a demonstration of...
Yeah! It's just a little shot. It's still good. It's still good. Kelly, Juan, and Hiram gear up to head back to the mine. And when they get there...
I tell you, these things are attracted by the slightest noise.
They can't get the graboids, dirt dragons, to show up. But then they find some hatched eggs. Eggs that clearly belong to the dirt dragons that were resting in the hot spring that was created by the mine. And they believe that the warm water is what caused these eggs to hatch. They see 4 of these hatched eggs and determine because one killed one that there are still 3 out there. Kelly really now wants to fight these dirt dragons because...
I'm getting awful anxious to unravel me some cartridges.
Kelly! There's no Bert, so what am I supposed to do? It's not like I'm gonna go, Hiram! As they are searching for them, they find old Fred's destroyed wagon. While looking around, they find, well... the same thing happened to an old Fred in the first movie. Okay, writers, I see what you did there. They find an abandoned house to camp in for the night, and while sleeping... I peed a little. Then I straight up pooped. Okay, Kelly, I know you don't have insight in the future, but I do, so just don't waste your bullets on those. At some point, they all fire on them. What the frick?
You said to pick something I was comfortable with.
You're right. I did say that.
How is Bert related to you? The dirt dragons can't get through the boards underneath, so... Man, when these worms are hungry. They send an SOS telegram, and while doing this... Now those are the dirt dragons I remember. Hiram and Kelly shoot at it enough so that one can get away and that it will go back down into its hole. Kelly has an idea. To wait for it when it comes up so they can get it at point blank range.
Toe to toe, point blank, full bore, throw all the lead we got at him.
Yeah, Kelly! The next morning, as they're about to leave...
No!
Well, at least he went down shooting. Literally. Christine shows up with a carriage so that Hiram and Juan can actually get away. Hiram asks if the dirt dragons are following. That was freaking cool. When they get back to Rejection, Hiram suggests that they all just leave and go start lives somewhere else because they can't get rid of these dirt dragons. But the rest refuse to leave.
We will not leave our new home.
Now that is awesome. In an attempt to get Hiram to stay. Why? They tell him that if he goes back home and tries to sell the mine, they will telegraph the newspapers that the mine is unworkable because of the dirt dragons. He says you guys would actually blackmail me, and they said they all voted and it passed 4-1.
I voted to drop you off a cliff.
After Hiram arrives in the next town, Juan is out searching and notices they're coming for Rejection. They send out a telegraph for help, and Hiram finds out about this in the town that he's in, so... Yeah! everyone in rejection is now packing up and getting ready to leave because they can't survive there. Just then, Hiram! He shows them what he bought. A large caliber firearm for each one of them, as well as
A 2-inch bore punt gun.
Hiram! Hiram suggests
That we stand our ground and fight these despicable beasts to the death.
I don't know, we did just pack everything up and I'm really kind of tired.
好，够英雄，打就打。We will fight.
Fine, I guess I'll start unloading.
We'll stop them like snakes.
We will burn them down.
We'll smoke them up.
Come on, yeah! They all set up a plan and... Seriously?
You missed with a cannon!
Dude! The dirt dragon comes back around and... Yeah! That did it! 2 more left. The next one comes around and...
No!
That's not good. One of them is going after one. Even runs him up a pole. While it's trying to get him and getting the pole down, Tacopa has an idea. He takes a big saw, one of those really big ones they used to use to cut down a tree with 2 people at each end, and he shoves it as deep into the ground as he can and starts banging on it with a hammer to get its attention. And it's working. It's getting the graboid away. It also does this. Whoa! Did that work? Oh! Yes! Yes! Very nice, Tacopa. Very nice. Did it get him? To get the last one, they decided to use the black powder for that big gun as a way of making a bomb. And I feel like Bert would have already done that. But while they're trying to work this plan out, a bunch of chaos ensues. So Hiram comes up with an idea. Interesting. Yeah! Soon after this is all done, the rest come over and inform Hiram that the bank has approved his loan so that he can get the mines reopened. He says he's going to do it, but on 2 conditions. First one,
We agree never to tell anyone about the dirt dragons.
well, that explains why 100 years later nobody knew about these. The second is that they let him use the first proceeds from the mines to basically take care of the rest of them, fix up the hotel, get Tacopa a new statue, so on and so forth. And I'm sure it was a tough sell. They also changed the name of the town. Hiram talks about a home he's going to build there.
Ideally, it won't be for just one.
And Christine gives Hiram a present. Bert! So there you have it. That's Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. This movie had a $5 million budget, which is actually a low budget, especially for a movie like this. But it was a great prequel to the original 3 Tremors movies. It was a great way to keep the series going. I can't tell you what it did in the box office because, well, it didn't have one. It went straight to DVD, like most of these movies. However, like the first 3 Tremors, it was a very fun and engaging film. It grabs you in, you get into it, and you laugh, you get emotional. It's really, really fun. All the Tremors movies are very, very fun. I highly recommend them all, even this one. I would definitely not say this is the best one. So far in the series, the first one is still the best. I would say the second one is better than this one. As far as the third and fourth, I would kind of sit there and say it's a tie, but that's not insulting it because both were very, very good. So, as with the other Tremors movies, I highly recommend you check out Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. So there you have it. That's my review of Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. Tell me which Tremors movie is your favorite. There's still 5, 6, and 7. Tell me which one of those you can't wait for me to review. Love you guys.